So I've been using my traveler's notebook as a bullet journal pretty heavily since mid-February of this year. And because of all the note-taking and daily logging and jotting of whatever I really want into this notebook, I've actually filled up one of my inserts, which I use to house my monthly and daily logs. So today I'm going to be taking you through my process of removing the insert, customizing a new one, and putting it back into my journal. As someone who's pretty new to traveler's notebooks, I'm just going to be taking you through what I do and also talking quickly about what I've learned so far using this notebook. First thing, as you can see right here, is that my elastic band, the connector band as the traveler's notebook company calls it, is kind of frayed. And that's actually because I didn't stretch out the elastic properly. So I'm going to be showing you how I correct this error with a new elastic further into the video. But before I get to that, I thought I would show you my new insert that I will be replacing my old one that is filled up with. This is a standard dot grid insert by the Travelers Company. It's this really nice gray color. I absolutely love the color that this insert is, and I'm really happy that this is the color that I get to use in my notebook. And I'm going to be customizing the cover a little bit first, and also a couple of the pages inside, just so it's a bit easier to use for my monthly and daily logs. So because this insert is a continuation of my monthly logs from my old insert, I'm going to be using a similar decorative process, so there's kind of a continuous flow of theme and design between the notebooks. So I first went in and stamped a pen nib with White Cloud ink by Versamagic on the front, and then more functionally I'm going in with my Daiso embosser, and I'm printing out the label Volume 3, and this is just going to go on the back of the notebook. I've been really liking labeling my notebooks, not only because these labels are really cool, but it also acts as a way for me to know what order to archive the notebooks in, and also if I want to reference a notebook, then I can really easily see which one I want to look at because they're in order. But before I put down that label, I'm going to do a tiny hint of decoration. I got this moon stamp from an Etsy shop, and I've been really wanting to use it. I've been so tempted. So I'm just going in, I'm taking an eraser and just erasing over top of the stamp in order to ensure there's no kind of film or kind of layer of whatever that's going to prevent the ink from going on properly. And I'm going in with that same white ink and stamping that baby down. Now, let me tell you, because the stamp was white, I couldn't really see where the ink was going on it, which essentially led to me really putting a lot of ink on this stamp. And that really caused the drying time to be quite a while. I recommend, if you're going to let something dry like this, to do something entertaining while you're waiting, so you're not just sitting around, maybe watching a video or playing Breath of the Wild, which is what I chose to do. So finally, after waiting and finding a couple shrines and, hanging out with Nadra, we're here and we are back into the journal and customizing the inside pages. Now, I thought it would be a really good idea to create an index as my front page because past me rationalized that by creating an index, I'd be able to index my monthly logs and important notes so I could more easily reference it. But of course, I forgot the part which is that in order to index something, I have to number all the pages, which completely slipped my mind. Just an essential part of indexing, no big deal. So we have the index there. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or number the pages. I'm thinking I might just go for it because I've already created the page and see how I like it, but I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, so now that that notebook is customized so that I can easily just jump into it when May rolls around, because that's when I'm going to be moving into this notebook, I'm breaking out a new connection band and I am stretching this band out so much. These bands are kind of unique because the top and bottom part of the band are not flexible. So if you don't stretch out the rest of the band on the sides, then essentially it puts pressure on the top and bottom of the band, which aren't flexible, and then they tend to tear and break. So what I'm doing here is I'm really stretching out the band. I went around a couple times just to really make sure it was flexible, and then I'm going to go in and use this band to attach my first notebook, which is my permanent collections in my bullet journal, and my second notebook, which is where I house my monthly and daily logs, which we just customized together. I'm feeding this connection band through the middle of each notebook, which you can tell by looking for the staples in the spine, and I'm trying to make sure that the non-flexible part of each elastic band is at the top and bottom of the notebooks. So now that I have the elastic perfectly placed in my notebook, I'm going to insert it back into my cover. Right now I have my notebook set up so that I have a craft folder that goes through the main elastic band of the cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my two notebooks and I'm going to slip it under my craft folder. And this is going to essentially order the notebooks. So I have the first notebook being my permanent collections, the second being my craft folder, and then the third being my monthly and daily logs. Something I immediately noticed with the newer, more stretched out elastic was that the middle insert fit much better between the first and third notebook. With my old elastic, I actually found that the middle insert really stuck out, and that's why I decided not to keep 3 notebooks in my traveler's notebook anymore. However, I think that fitting 3 notebooks would be a lot easier if you stretched out the band correctly and made sure that it was loosened up. So that is how I migrated my insert and set it up in my traveler's notebook so it's all organized and ordered and elasticated away. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to keep hanging out, make sure to subscribe. Besides that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!